Mike Anzuka for Fighters Club TV here with the fight of the night. Stephen Bozo versus Jens Pulver. This is a fight worthy of a world title fight. First of all, Bozo first, what do you expect for Jens? Do you think he's going to stand up with you, or do you think he's going to change his game plan up and take you down?
No, I already knew watching Jens and his ability to stand. I already expected to, with his power and strength, and I was already prepared to, stand toe-to-toe with him, and as I suspected, he would stand and, stand and bang.
Yeah. And you guys definitely banged. You hit him basically with everything in the kitchen sink. Yeah. Were you surprised that he could take your punches so well?
Yeah, I was throwing everything I had. I mean, and his technique of just riding the punches and his defense was excellent, and he did an excellent job.
And at the point that basically, you got a little bit of kind of like a grazed eye or something after one of the punches, did you start getting concerned that the vision loss is going to start being detrimental to your striking ability?
Yeah, he caught me in the first round when I went down. I was kind of blurred, and the thought of quitting came in my mind, but thank God that he gave me that fighting spirit and got up, recollected, and stood in there, gave my all.
And when you kept on hitting him and kept on connecting and he was still standing there, did it basically throw a little mix in your game plan, or did you ever think of having to change your game plan, even like stance or anything like that?
No, I was planning on just staying in there and try to take him out, and I knew he was coming out and trying to take me out, and that was the game plan from the start. Just try and outbox him and try to hit him, but I believe I need to take my conditioning to a new level. As Jens was at, he's at a level, that I need to get myself up to that level. So.
And Jens, like I just said, you took a lot of shots from him. How devastating was his power? He's pretty much known as one of the hardest hitters pound for pound.
I've never been hit so hard, man, ever. That's without a doubt. There was 2 times in the fight, like I told Bozo earlier, that I actually thought I was on the ground. And I went, oh God, he's still right in front of me, he's throwing, And honestly, I think it was first round, definitely was in the first round, right off the bat. I was gonna shoot. I said, I'm going to the ground. Because I kind of thought, but the minute the crowd and looked across at him, I said, you know what? He's got the hardest hands. I got to find out. I got to get in there. I've been boxing. I've been trying. I got to get in there. I got to find out. And it's exactly what I thought. I don't know. I can't. Something inside of me, man. When I Parampina in the Naga match, I sat in his triangle choke for 3 minutes. Boxing that kid in ESPN2, I got knocked down. I don't know what it is this year that's gotten me so. It's a whole new spiritual ride for me. It's kind of like a solo trip in a way. I'm not disowning my team or my teammates or anything like that, but I'm really out there for me right now as far as in the way that I'm just trying to. I love what I'm doing, and when I get into something like what I just went through, I told Bozo, he just took a piece of my soul. He's got it. We're brothers, man. That's period. After that right there, I've got nothing but a brother. That was a brotherhood right there. He's my brother from now on. I gave him a piece of my heart, period, tonight.
And as far as him hitting you as much as possible, first of all, I'd like to give you basically props for standing in there. This is the fight that we expected, the epic stand-up battle, and definitely you guys both delivered. When he started hitting you and connecting as much as he did, were you worried at all about possibly getting knocked down since you've been knocked down before?
Yeah, no, I figure I'm sitting there, every time I'm like, okay, you got to keep your hands up. Which punch is going to be the one that drops you? And then I started telling myself, I'm sitting there having the battle. I'm like, don't go there, Work your jab, keep your right, keep your left up, because that's always been my worst enemy. Was I always used to overload, throw too hard, drop my left, and I knew he was a counterpuncher, and I knew this was the time, man. I've been working since Ludwig, keeping my hands up, and this was the time to find out if I was going to be able to do that. And he had me, it really intimidated me when I was coming. I knew, work the jab, work the jab, work the jab. And then when he was firing those hard combinations, he started getting in close enough to get me behind the ear. I was telling myself, you can't go unanswered. You got to fire something back. You got to fire something back, So it was, but I wasn't going to deter from giving these people this, Shooto believed in me when a lot of organizations quit believing in me. And Bozo, you know, we're in the best organization right now, and they deserve this fight. The Japanese fans, the Hawaiian fans, and anybody that came to see this deserved this fight. People that, you know, this kind of fight didn't belong in the UFC. It belongs right here. This ain't for 130,000 going to a guy who used to wrestle big-time pro wrestling. This is two guys right here that said, you know what? Tonight we're going to give these guys the greatest thing that we can give them, period. And these people deserved it. And I'm hurting, and I wouldn't change it. I'd do it again.
And tell me about this.
Not anytime soon, though. I'm just saying I'd do that to you, but you know.
One last thing is that you just said it just before the interview. Bozo's known for a puncher, but he whacked some good leg kicks. Tell me about those leg kicks.
Just stunned me, and you know, and I had a little bit of an injury from March, but I felt strong. I felt ready, and you know, and it's like, oh, he's not going to kick, so I knew I didn't really have to really rehab that knee as much as I did. Booyah, it hits me. My knee went numb, and I hope he couldn't see it. I was like, you know, and so I walked back, and if I stood, you know, in between the second and third rounds, so I was like, I can't sit down. And I'm just like, I hope the guy, you know, he doesn't see, keep tagging that thing, you know, because I knew, you know, I needed to get that jab, popping that head up, and I had to get in close enough to land the left, you know what I mean? I had to get in close enough to land it. But he was, you know, the jab back, firing with counter punches already, and he had me intimidated. I didn't want to get kicked on that knee and caught off balance. So it's stunned. I mean, he pulled out some tricks, you know, but I tell you this, plumbing with him and getting in that tie-ups and stuff with him, you notice it was me that he shucked to the ground. Well, I went sprawling into the corner, I was like, man, I thought he didn't know how to, he wasn't that good in the clinch. That bold, you know. Anybody ever, I mean, I don't want to be anybody that fights this guy because his power is, I'll tell you what, anybody looking right at you, telling you, you fight this guy, you better bring a gigantic